What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and whatever time it is. Welcome back to yet another video with you, man, Immersionholic. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first ever overview of our first Arena Maxima tournament, Diadochi Wars Edition. That's right, everyone. We had some juggernaut Diadochi factions going up against each other in this awesome tournament. And in fact, the tournament is not over yet. I'm doing this overview at the time that the semi-finals are taking place and are just about finished, and very soon we will have the grand final. On the channel, I'm going to be doing this every single time for all of our Arena Maxima tournaments. I'll be aiming to do these when we have the semi-finals occurring, so that way you can get a rundown of what's been happening, who's been going on, and who has been dominating in the tournament. Not only that, but I'll also be covering all of the semi-finals that occur, and of course I'll also be covering the grand final itself. Now real quick, if you want to get involved in future tournaments, please go ahead and click the link in the description. Check out our Discord. That is where everything is organized and hosted. Massive shout out to the moderator team, especially God, who has gone to the effort of not only developing our rule set, but also following along and updating the bracket system that he has created here. And there's a couple of things for you all to know before we jump into a complete breakdown of what has been happening so far. First off, this is a Diadochi Wars theme. That means that we were actually quite strict with the rules. Our first Arena Maxima tournament is a Diadochi Wars Edition, like I was saying, so that means we were very strict on what factions could be chosen. Now, we did have a best of 3 system for all of our battles, so that way players will be having a multitude of different factions that they'll be playing as. It won't be one single faction per player, and the factions are Macedon, Egypt, Bactria, Seleucids, Pergamon, and then Epirus. These are some of the juggernauts of the Diadochi Wars era, with some of the most powerful personalities in all of ancient and antiquity history. So we were really trying to focus in on these amazing factions, and we have some spectacular battles to review. But right now, I just want to go ahead and break down with you all what has happened so far, and then in the coming days, you'll also see me releasing videos covering the semi-finals and then the grand final itself. So that way, out of all of these amazing gladiators that we have, we can finally announce who is the Imperator of the Diadochi Wars Edition of our Arena Maxima tournament. Anyway, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into round 1 of the Arena Maxima. So as you can see here, this is our bracket system. A link will be in the description if you do want to go ahead and check it out. Anyway, we do have round 1 and round 2 listed here at the top, but technically this is actually just one round together. We had so many people that we just had to put a couple people off on their own initially early on. So this first battle up here with Real Life Stefan and Me6, that actually isn't a proper battle. We'll just go ahead and ignore that. Me6 should not have been in here, but anyway, Real Life Stefan ended up taking on Klondike. However, Klondike commanded a commanding victory with a 2-0 victory. Then we moved down to Mercury and Miha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing these correctly. Miha ends up taking the 2-0 victory and then thus moves to round 3 against Klondike. Going to be a tough battle there. Klondike is very well known in the community. Moving on down to the next bracket though, we have Imputed and then Sword C, we'll just say for now. Anyway, Sword and Imputed fought it out very toughly, but Sword commanded a very nice victory against Imputed and will thus move on to the next round. Matty G and Jokon also had a very similar outcome. We're going to be seeing a lot of similar outcomes for this first sort of set, but we have a 2-0 victory for Jokon here. Just after that, we then go down to Genesius Maxima versus Astro Robin. Astro Robin, another very well-known name in the online DI community. That would be a tough matchup, and Astro ends up living up to his name and does some very solid damage and gets a juicy 2.0 victory against Genesius Maxima. We then had Sultan Smurf try to take on Strategos 97. However, Strategos came in solid with a 2-0 win against Sultan Smurf as well. We then had Nance against Calogero. You would have heard Calogero a lot on my channel. Again, another household name of the DEI community, and he definitely shows it here with a nice 2-0 victory to start his long journey in the tournament. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We then had Caesar against Conrad 4. This one was actually forfeited by Caesar, as this was a bit of an error on Caesar's part. So Conrad 4 ended up moving on to Calogero in the next round. We then go back over to the left side here. We had God taking on Nightingale. An absolutely monumental clash. These two names are absolutely well known in the DEI online community. This is an absolutely gobsmacking matchup, and I really want to go back and cover these two people fighting each other in the future. But right now, Nightingale actually wins a 2-0 victory against God. GG's to everyone as well so far. Even though we're having some 2-0s, there were some really close battles. Fantastic stuff. Moving back to the rest of round 1, Caesar actually did end up fighting Nightingale, so Nightingale got another 2-0 victory in that round 1, so Nightingale kind of fights 2 battles for that first round. We then also had Smudge014 taking on DFTH. No idea how to pronounce that, but anyway, DFTH takes another 2-0 victory as well. But hang on, now we see the 2-0 dry spell getting evicted, and we now have 2-1s going on here. Madagascar takes on an Optimate. Madagascar actually ends up taking out the victory with a 2-1 against an Optimate. Very, very close best of 3 here. We then also have Markov versus Whiskers von Thorbugger. Markov takes on the victory as well with a 2-1 against Whiskers there. Johnny the Dumpling, another name very well known in the community, a 2-0 against Tarsinus 125. Congratulations to Johnny right there. We then have Evil Bot 23 taking on Hoffers. Another really close series, but Evil Bot ends up going ahead with a 2-1 victory as well. Getting to the end of round 1 though, we then have Guns Beer Freedom taking on Sakari in a 2-1 as well. Congratulations to Guns Beer Freedom. I believe he is one of the players who is newer to doing online battles as well, so massive props to him. Congratulations, mate. And then we had Soul Invictus take on Nothing. Nothing comes in with a 2-0, and thus will be fighting Guns Beer Freedom in round 2. So let's go ahead and check that out here. Technically it does say round 3 up here, but this was really the second round thought between everyone. Bear with me here, everybody. But anyway, let's cruise on down and see who came out on top here. Well, we actually had Klondike get another commanding victory, this time against Miha with a 2-0 victory right there. We then come back down to a 1-to-2 ratio right here, with Sword losing out to Jokon and a 2-1 in favor of Jokon. Jokon, however you want to pronounce that. Congratulations again. Astro Robin cruising on down with a 2-0 against Strategos 97. Continuing our way down, we then also have Calogero take on Conrad 4. Some very well-known names, a very difficult battle for both gentlemen here, but Calogero still came out with a solid 2-0 victory. Cruising on down, we have Nightingale take on DFTH. Nightingale again comes out with another 2-0. That's his third 2-0 so far. Very dominating from Nightingale. Excellent stuff. We then cruise on down to Madagascar, losing out to Markov in a 0-2 for Madagascar. Markov moves on against Nightingale in the next round. And then we have Johnny the Dumpling versus Evilbot 23. Johnny came out hard and heavy, and he got the victory done with a 2-0 knockout. And then we have Guns, Beer, and Freedom losing out to Nothing in another 2-0 defeat. Victory for Nothing. So we're seeing a pattern of a lot of 2-0s occurring, but we also have a mixture of some 1-2s. But don't make it mistaken, we have a lot of close battles going on here. Again, if you want to go ahead and check out these battles yourself, the replays are listed out for the public in the description. In our Discord server. In addition, we also had screenshots if you'd like to go ahead and look at those. And then that brings us to round 3. Again, I'll cover that up, but this is going to be our round 3. This is the round before the semi-finals, everyone. This is where things are really heating up. This is where our players absolutely have a lot on the line here, because the semi-finals are the first step to getting to the grand final, right? So now we have Klondike versus Yokon right here. Klondike comes in with a 2-0. Again, constant 2-0s from Klondike. Very, very impressive stuff. Congrats to him. We then cruise on down to Astro Robin versus Calogero. Juggernaut players in the community. Very nail-biting matchup this was, but Calogero still manages to come out with a 2-1 against Astro. Very, very nice stuff. Cruising on down, we have Nightingale take on Markov. Nightingale, in his 4th battle series, ends up getting a 2-0 against Markov. Wow. Very, very nice stuff here. GG's to both gentlemen. And then all the way down at the bottom, we're starting to see a few more 2-1 victories come out now, with Johnny getting a narrow victory over Nothing in a 2-1 section. So now that leaves us with these semi-finals here. Now, some of these semi-finals have already been fought, but I'm not going to go ahead and show you the results just yet, because we're going to go over those in detail as I do the online commentaries for you. But your semi-finals, ladies and gentlemen, for the Arena Maxima Diadochi Wars Edition is Klondike versus Calogero. They will be our first round for the semi-finals. Absolutely monumental players with extreme skill from both sides. Both of them have their own really strong strengths though, so it's going to be tough to see who can actually find the weakness of the other one in that matchup. That's going to be a ground-breaking battle there. And then down below we have Nightingale versus Johnny the Dumpling. Oh my goodness, incredible players. This is going to be an absolute nail-biter. And then even then, for these semi-finals, I have absolutely no idea who's going to go ahead and take out the grand final victory. It's been an amazing tournament so far, and congratulations to everyone who not only made it to the semi-finals and beyond, but just congratulations to all of you who actually participated, fought well, died bravely on the battlefield. Gladiators, you have served the people well, and we are entertained, I promise you. But we are just beginning, so keep an eye out on our channel for the semi-finals to be posted soon. And if you yourself actually want to get involved and go ahead and have a chance of earning the title of Imperator, you can join our Discord and sign up for the next tournament that will be coming out very, very soon. We already have it planned. It's going to be amazing and a lot of fun with a lot of variety. Go ahead and join our Discord, and that way you can keep in touch on what is going on with each of our tournaments. We also host our rules there, and we also have general discussions. And if you're just looking for online battles in general, really regardless of the Total War, we favor historical, but we welcome any and all Total War players. Come on in and get involved in our growing and amazing online community. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the semi-finals of the Arena Maxima Diadochi Wars Edition.